She told me her Vegas hookup was just a drunken mistake, so I smiled, planned the wedding, and on the big day, I exposed everything with one text while she walked in wearing the dress. I'm 34, and for a long time, I thought I had it all figured out. I believed I had found the person I was meant to spend the rest of my life with. My fiancé and I had been together for 3 years, and during that time, everything seemed to line up perfectly. We laughed at the same dumb jokes, shared the same love for road trips and late-night pizza, and even managed to survive living together without any major blow-ups. To me, that meant something. When I proposed to her, I wasn't nervous. I was certain. Watching her say yes felt like confirmation that my life was moving in the right direction. Our families blended well enough. Our friends got along, and planning the wedding felt exciting more than stressful. At least, that's how it was at first. Then came her bachelorette trip to Vegas. I wasn't worried when she left. Why would I be? She promised it was just her and the bridesmaids, some gambling, a show, maybe a night of dancing. I trusted her. She was my soon-to-be wife, after all. But when she came back, something was different. She looked the same, acted almost the same, but not quite. There was this shift in her energy I couldn't ignore. She seemed distracted, distant. Whenever I tried to talk about the wedding, she brushed me off with quick answers. If I asked how the trip went, she'd say, "It was fun, nothing crazy," but she wouldn't look me in the eye when she said it. At first, I chalked it up to stress. Weddings can do that. Maybe she was overwhelmed with planning or nervous about the big day. I told myself not to overthink it, not to create problems where there weren't any. But the uneasiness didn't go away. If anything, it grew. The truth finally came out in the most unexpected way. A couple of weeks after the trip, I was helping set up at a small gathering with her bridesmaids. They were in the kitchen laughing, talking about Vegas, when one of them slipped. She said something like, "Well, at least you didn't bring him home. That would have been awkward." The room went silent. My fiancée froze, shot her friend a look that could kill, and tried to laugh it off, but I caught it. I caught everything. My stomach tightened, and suddenly all those little off moments from the past few weeks clicked into place. Later that night, I confronted her. I didn't go in yelling. I just asked. Straightforward, no sugarcoating. What happened in Vegas? At first, she denied it. She got defensive, told me I was paranoid, that I was letting other people put thoughts in my head. But I pushed, and after enough pressing, she finally admitted it. She told me she had hooked up with some random guy at the club, said it was a drunken mistake, a one-time thing, that it didn't mean anything. She begged me to see it as just a bad decision, not a reflection of how she felt about me. I just sat there, stunned. This wasn't a random fling after years of resentment or a marriage gone sour. This was before we'd even started. We hadn't exchanged vows yet, and already she had broken the very foundation of trust. In that moment, something inside me shifted. The future I thought we were building together cracked wide open. I didn't yell, I didn't cry. I just listened, quiet, while she tried to minimize it. But deep down, I knew something had ended the second she admitted the truth. After that night, I felt empty. I don't even know if hurt or angry fully describes it. It was more like I had been unplugged from the life I thought I was living. I would wake up, see her next to me, and wonder how I could look at the same person I once adored and now feel nothing but distance. At first, I told myself maybe I could forgive her. People make mistakes, right? That's what she kept insisting. She said it was just a stupid, drunken decision. She cried, begged, told me it meant nothing. But how do you call it nothing when it changes everything? Every time she said it didn't mean anything, all I heard was, "You weren't enough in that moment." Our promises didn't matter in that moment. And if she could throw it all away before we'd even walked down the aisle, what would happen later, when life got harder? I didn't explode at her. I didn't even argue much. I just shut down. On the outside, I nodded when she swore it wouldn't happen again. I told her I believed her. I even hugged her when she cried. But inside, something was hardening. I realized very quickly that I couldn't marry her. There was no version of me that could stand in front of my family and hers, look her in the eye, and promise forever after what she had done. That trust was gone. Completely gone. But here's the thing. I didn't tell her that. Instead, I kept playing along. We still went to cake tastings. We still met with the florist. I smiled when people congratulated us. I let her believe I was still all in. Why? Because I wanted her to feel the weight of what she had done. If I ended it quietly, behind closed doors, she could spin the story however she wanted. She could blame me, or downplay her mistake, or even convince herself it wasn't a big deal. But I knew the truth. And soon, everyone else would too. As the days passed, my plan began to take shape. I gathered proof, texts from her bridesmaid, the slip-up that confirmed everything, and even some messages she had exchanged with her friends while in Vegas. I didn't need to exaggerate or twist anything. The truth alone was damning enough. Meanwhile, I acted like the happy groom-to-be. We posed for engagement photos. We sent out the final wedding invitations. I wore the mask so convincingly that even she believed it. But when I was alone, the mask came off. I'd sit in silence, staring at my phone, rereading the text that confirmed what she did. I'd lie awake at night while she slept, wondering how many times she'd replayed that night in her head, wondering if she felt any real guilt or if she just feared getting caught. Every time she laughed during wedding planning, every time she talked about how excited she was for the best day of our lives, it fueled me. She had no idea that the best day of her life was about to become the worst. By the time the wedding week arrived, I was calm. Too calm, maybe. My decision was final, and there was no turning back. The invitations had gone out, the guests were on their way, the flowers were ordered. She thought we were days away from forever. In reality, I was days away from ending it all, and making sure she would never forget why. The morning of the wedding felt strangely calm for me. I woke up knowing exactly what I was about to do, and for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel conflicted. There was no more second-guessing, no more what-ifs. The choice had already been made the moment she betrayed me in Vegas. Meanwhile, she was across town with her bridesmaids, getting her hair and makeup done. Her phone was probably buzzing with congratulations, texts from family and friends, people wishing her the happiest day of her life. She must have been smiling, soaking in the attention, thinking she had pulled it all off. But I had other plans. By mid-morning, guests were already on their way to the venue. Her parents were running around making sure everything looked perfect. My family was starting to arrive, and the air was thick with excitement. That's when I pressed send. A single mass text, blasted out to every contact connected to the wedding. Her family, my family, friends, co-workers, everyone who had been invited. Attached were screenshots. The texts her bridesmaid had sent me, the evidence of what she had done in Vegas, her own words and laughter about that night. Just the plain truth. And with it, I wrote one sentence. This wedding is off. The bride-to-be cheated at her bachelorette party. That was it. No long explanation, no drawn-out drama. Just the truth, delivered directly to everyone who needed to know. I didn't go to the venue. I didn't need to. My part was done. The fallout, though, that spread faster than wildfire. While I sat quietly in my apartment, my phone started lighting up with notifications. Family members calling, friends texting, people asking if it was real. Some messages were supportive, others were stunned, but the one common thread was disbelief. How could she do this right before the wedding? And then came the silence. I imagined the scene at the venue. Guests whispering as they checked their phones. Her parents reading the message in horror. My relatives shaking their heads, leaving before the ceremony could even begin. By the time she walked into the venue in her white dress, ready to play the role of the glowing bride, the truth had already spread. I pictured it so clearly, the hush falling over the room, people avoiding her eyes, whispers in every corner. She must have felt the shift instantly. The texts were undeniable. She couldn't claim misunderstanding or exaggeration. It was all there in black and white. Her own friends had handed me the rope she would hang herself with. She tried calling me, of course. First once, then over and over again. When I didn't pick up, the messages poured in. We need to talk. Please don't do this. You don't understand. It wasn't like that. But I understood perfectly. I turned off my phone and sat back, letting the day unravel without me. There was no yelling, no scene with me storming in, no dramatic confrontation. Just quiet, undeniable truth. That was the part that made it hit hardest for her, I think. She had no way to spin it, no way to twist it into something smaller. She had destroyed us with one night of betrayal. I ended it with one message of truth. And while the guests left in confusion and her parents tried to salvage their dignity, I stayed away, calm and resolute. The wedding was over before it began. By the time she finally walked into the venue, everything had already unraveled. She was in her white dress, veil pinned neatly, bouquet in hand, the picture-perfect bride. But the room wasn't the one she imagined. Half the chairs sat empty. Guests had slipped out after reading my message, and those who remained weren't smiling. They were whispering, staring, shaking their heads. Her parents were pale, her mother clutching her arm, her father looking like he wanted to disappear. I wasn't there, but friends later told me how surreal it was. The shift from excitement to discomfort in just a few minutes. She asked where I was. Nobody answered. By then, everyone had already seen the screenshots. Everyone knew. When she finally pieced it together, she broke down. Not the dramatic tears of a bride overwhelmed by love, but the panicked sobbing of someone watching her carefully built world collapse in front of an audience. There was no wedding, no celebration, just silence, shame, and whispers. And me? I wasn't anywhere near it. I was at home, sitting on my couch, sipping coffee like it was any other day. I had already canceled the honeymoon the night before and secured a refund. I had packed up a few of my things from our apartment, and I knew I wasn't going back. My phone buzzed nonstop that afternoon. Dozens of missed calls from her friends, from her family. Messages begging me to reconsider, swearing it was just a mistake, promising it wouldn't happen again. She said she still wanted a life with me, that we could work through this. But what was there left to work through? The foundation was gone. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Sometimes silence is louder than anything you could say. In the days that followed, the fallout spread through our circles. Some people told me I was too harsh. Others said I was right to expose her. A few even admitted they admired the way I handled it. Calm, calculated, no theatrics. As for her, regret hit her like a freight train. She reached out over and over again, sometimes angry, sometimes desperate, sometimes quietly apologizing. But no matter what tone she used, the message was the same. She wanted me back. And yet, every time I thought about her, I didn't see the woman I thought I was marrying. I saw the woman who, given a night away with her friends, chose to betray the very vows we hadn't even spoken yet. That wasn't someone I could build a life with. So I let her go. I walked away with my dignity intact, the truth laid bare for everyone to see, and the knowledge that I had dodged a bullet. Looking back now, I don't regret how I handled it. The truth hurts, but it also frees you. And while her perfect day turned into the worst day of her life, for me, it was the first day of moving forward without lies weighing me down. She destroyed us with one night of betrayal. I ended it with one moment of truth. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.